Welcome to another episode of Royal Rumble. Please stand by for the upcoming fight. This time, the Skaven will face up against the Lizardmen.
So welcome to another episode of Royal Rumble and thank you for tuning in. In this episode I'm playing the Skaven and I'm facing up against the Lizardmen. So I think it depends, the matchup depends how effective you are able to use your artillery. So if you can place several hits in the pre-combat and cause some damage and are able to constantly shoot during the fight, the matchup is in really high favor for the Skaven, or it is in favor for the Skaven, let me say it like this, in my opinion. But if you are not able to use your artillery quite effective, I think the Lizardmen are really able to crush their Skaven. So it depends on the artillery, and in my opinion, also then, of course, it depends also on the map. Because as all of you know, on some maps you're really able to use your artillery in a quite efficient way, and on other maps you are not able to use your artillery very effective. So it depends on the terrain. Yeah, so as I say, it depends on the artillery in my opinion. Of course, the warp lightning cannon is very strong, especially against all these dinosaurs, and that can make really a difference over here in this match. So let's start with my army composition over here, and we can see I have Stormwarmen in the front line. Of course, to defend my front line or protect my front line from all these dinosaurs, as all of you know, anti-large infantry unit, causing a lot of armor-piercing damage, have large charge defense against large foes, and especially very strong, of course, against all these dinosaurs. And I spread them a little bit. Of course, you cannot bring too much of them because they are very expensive. So I spread them a little bit over here to increase or enlarge my front line over here, and yeah. And the second line I have clan rats with shields to compete against these low tier or like against skin cohorts and Saurus warriors and stuff like that to compete against the Lizardmen infantry. On the sides I have Skaven slaves, clan rats with spears, to protect my flanks. Then I have plague monks, the more elite or the mid-range infantry unit of the Skaven, to improve my or to support my clan rats with shields against the Lizardmen infantry. Then I have poisoned globadiers, and in my opinion, as I always say, these guys are a must-have, especially against the Lizardmen, because they have a real anti-large bonus, and they're very effective, especially against all these dinosaurs. So in my opinion, very, very important against the Lizardmen, and a must-have. Then in this last line, I have Skaven slaves with spears, and two groups, and a group of Skaven slaves, and this was just for protecting my artillery over here from flankings. Then I have an assassin, 2, and a Gracier with Law of Plague, as always. And a warp lightning cannon, of course, and a Deathclaw catapult. So, okay, that's everything from my side. Let's go to my opponent, and we can clearly see we have over here a group of Pterodon riders, and the plan was, of course, to cause a lot of harass damage in the pre-combat to my army. But as you can see, and as I say, it is if you are able to use your warp lightning cannon, especially in the pre-combat, also quite effective. You can see how much damage already this Pterodon riders took, and they are not able to cause over here harass damage. They get sniped out really fast from the warp lightning cannon. Then we have, let's go to the infantry over here. We have skin cohorts on the side of my opponent. We have another group, Saurus warriors, skin cohorts. So we have a mix of Saurus warriors and skin cohorts in the infantry corps. And of course, it's very also in this matchup. I think the skin cohorts are a really good pick. Of course, also the most Skaven units are not that elite, and the skin cohort can compete very well against them. So we have a quite if you play Lizardmen, you have a quite cheap infantry. We have a quite cheap option over here to compete against the Skaven infantry and to increase your army amount. Your amount of units in your army. Then we have over here a skink priest on a ancient Stagadon with Flock of Doom. In my opinion, very good, especially against the Skaven, because the Skaven are naturally have such a huge amount of units, and they are blobbing not because the player wants to blob, but because it happens. It's just happened to you. If you are engaged in the fight against your opponent, some units are blobbing, or 2 or 3 clan reps stuck on one spot or stuff like that. It is naturally like this. And so this Flock of Doom is quite effective against that, causing a lot of damage, especially overcasted. Then we have a Bastiladon with the Verification Crystal over here to heal up all units. Then we have a Krogar. This, as I always say, the new Colic, or the Colic of Total War 2, Total War Warhammer 2. The Krogar is such a strong monster. We have 560 weapon strength. We have an armor piercing amount of 375. And we have a bonus versus large of 35. So that is huge over here. That is really huge. We have, he's very heavily armored, and also the melee attack is 60. Also very huge. So Krogar on this Carnosaur over here is very, very strong. It's a very, very strong unit. Then we have a Sauruscar veteran, also quite interesting over here, also on a Carnosaur. And we have also here very, very huge or very good stats. We have 500 weapon strength, we have 360 armor piercing amount of that, and we have also a bonus versus large of 35. It's also very armored. Of course, it's because of the Carnosaur, and also the melee stats are quite good. So very, can say very dangerous good squad over here. Okay, I think that was everything. So let's begin with the battle. And we can see here the how much damage these Pterodon riders took already. So they are. I took out several models over here, and so you can see that. So this is what I mean. If you are able to use your Warp Lightning Cannon in the pre-combat, quite effective. That is very strong over here. So they rode off, and even they are also very heavily damaged. So they are dead in some, I think, 2 or 3 shots again, and they will rout off. You can see that they are really heavily damaged, very low on hit points, and they cause no harass damage at the beginning. So we have here a charge in, and you can see I pulled out my Storm Vermin on this side over here, because I saw that he's coming with Krogar and the Sauruscar veteran on the right flank, and then I pushed my Storm Vermin on this side, or pulled them out on this side to protect my side, and also pulled my Clan Rats in the front line over here to fight these Skink cohorts. So I made some little changes in the front line. To compete right here my units, or to let the Clan Rats fight the Skink cohort and my Storm Vermin against these dinosaurs. And the Storm Vermin are are a really good unit. They're really strong, and especially against these dinosaurs, they perform very, very well. And you can see also my poison wind globaliers over here constantly shoot on the school squad over here, and causing actually a lot of damage. And also the Warp Lightning Cannon was able to place several hits, and you can directly see he attacks the Warp Lightning Cannon to send them off, to send it offline over here. But it was, in my opinion, a little overcommitment, because as I say, the Storm Women are very dangerous. Also, I have 2 assassins over here, and also the Poison Wind Globaliers constantly shoot on Krogar over here, and you can see it. He goes down in seconds. How much damage it took over here. All Storm Women are fighting Krogar. The Poison Wind Globaliers shoot on him, and Even if he was able to send he destroyed 2 catapults over here, 2 warp lightning cannons, but you can see he's very heavily damaged. He routes off, and this is within seconds. So very good of the assassins over here and the poison wind globadiers. Also we have the name, I forgot it, Terran Riders over here, and now they are shattered. That's it for them, and yeah, they will rout off. On the front line it works quite well. Also I have Stormworm in here, and they are also quite steady against infantry. But you can see this is the Flock of Doom over here, overcasted or not overcasted, cause a lot of damage also to the Stormworm, even if they are heavily armored. So we have 90 armored on the side of the Stormworm, but Flock of Doom cause a lot of damage to them. And on this side you can see my groups are shaken or gets terrified from the Bastillaton with the rarefication crystal. But now I was able to also send my Stormworm in on the front line to hold the line on this side over here, because on the back line you can see I forced off, or I hunt down with my assassins the Krogar over here to make sure that he will not come back over here. And you can see he wants to come back, but now he gets really massacred from the assassin, or that will finish him off over here. So the assassins are quite effective against large units and to snipe out enemy lords. And now Krogar is gone. So I think it was a little bit overcommitment in the beginning, as I say, from my opponent. So it's the assassins and the Stormworm are very dangerous against these dinosaurs. And also you can see this Zaroscar veteran is very heavily damaged and routes off now and is shattered, and yeah, that's it for these guys. But also you can see the frontline fight works quite well for my opponent. Everything routes off from my side. Typically, because these Bastillaton with the rarefication crystal cause a lot of damage here, or all units get terrified of him over here. You can see that. Also here these Stormwormen are very heavily damaged. So the Saurus warriors with shields perform quite well against my infantry. I'm not sure how it is with the skin cohort, but the Saurus warriors with shield perform really well. And of course we don't have to forget we have a really healthy skin priest, and the problem was I was not able to get through over here to snipe him out. And as I said, Krogar managed to kill 2 warp lightning cannons over here, so it was very difficult for me to get through over here and to send these skin priest offline. And all these Flock of Doom causing a lot of damage, and yeah, this was a problem. You can see over here now we have the rarefication crystal, the Bastillaton over here in hit, and of course I started shooting with my poison wind globadiers, and actually caused a lot of damage to the Bastillaton over here. But we can see another Flock of Doom goes down over here and caused so much damage to my units. You can see that. But now I casted a plague over here, and I think this was an overcasted one directly on this blob. And you can see he was able to send my Deathclaw catapult offline, so I wasn't able to use any artillery anymore in this game. And I get quite overwhelmed on this side over here, so we have a lot of units over here, but all are rampage or out of control over here. And yeah, I finally was able to rout off these Bastillaton, but we have still all these Saurus warriors over here in it. But now a lot of routing units come back over here, some Stormworm in now, and also I was able to go through over here to attack these skin priests. But you can see my I need some more Stormworm over here. They were not enough to damage the skin priest. Oh, he's a little bit damaged over here, but it wasn't enough. But over here now with these with this huge quantity of units, everything came back. So this is what I like on this game. Everything come back, and they rout off quite fast, but then everything comes back and push in and pull everything away. And you can see we have nearly a mass rout over here. All these Saurus warriors are routing off, also the Bastillaton over here. And now I was able to finally push forward over here to attack these Ancient Stegodon. say, to attack to attack this Skink Priest, and I wasn't able to kill him, or it was not necessary because he routes off, so it was a mass rout at the end, and so I finally managed it to win. So the Saurus Warriors performed very well, you can see that. They took a lot of models out, they killed a lot of models over here, and every unit nearly 100 kills. The Skink cohort don't perform really good, they underperformed, so the performance was not very good. But the Skink Priest, of course, as I say, with all these Flock of Dooms, very good, in my opinion, against Escape. Kroka as always, but as I say, it was a little overequipment of my opponent, so he routes off quite fast. But okay, that's everything for this match. Thank you for tuning in this episode, and hope to see you on the next episode of Royal Rumble, and have a nice evening. Thank you.